Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to this video for discussion on the topic of birth control, and we will discuss intrauterine contraceptive devices in this video. First of all, we should know that first generation, second generation and third generation. There are three generation of intrauterine contraceptive devices. The first generation example is a Lippes loop. It is nothing but a plastic polyethylene loop made up of, and it is not used nowadays in India, but it is used in other parts of the world. Stainless steel rings, they are used in China, you should be aware about. So there are stainless steel rings which are used in China. They come under first generation of the intrauterine contraceptive devices. Now coming to the second generation of intrauterine contraceptive devices, it is nothing but the same polyethylene frame, but it is coiled with the copper wire. And example are in India, provided by the government of India, it is 380A, and it has a life of 10 years. It gives the contraceptive protection up to 10 years. Also 375, copper T 375, which is nothing but multi-load, and it gives protection for 5 years. These are the names. There are other names as well, we'll discuss very soon. And the third generation are nothing but they are the intrauterine, you can say them intrauterine system. They have levonorgestrel, and it is being released inside the endometrial cavity, and it gives the contraceptive protection. So there are three generations of intrauterine contraceptive devices, and you may be asked about these in your viva very frequently. Now coming to the detailed discussion about what the second generation intrauterine contraceptive devices, what are available, what names are available, and what are the most frequently asked questions in your viva. Number one, what you will be asked, what is copper T 380A? So this has a lifespan for protection for 10 years. And what is copper T 380AG? AG means it has also got the silver. Apart from copper, it also has silver. So slimline, what is copper T 380 slimline? It is the copper sleeves are flushed at the horizontal part of the copper T. Here it is sleeved. And what is copper T 375? It is nothing but multi-load, and it has a protective effect for 5 years. This is the you may be asked in your exam, Government of India provides which copper T? So this is copper T 380A. Now second question, they may ask you, what does these 380 or 375 they tell you? So these are nothing but they tell us about the copper surface area of copper which is used in millimeter square. Okay, so this is the importance of this numbering system that we have. Okay, now next, Novati, it has 200 millimeter square of surface area of copper. Also it has silver. So silver containing IUCDs, you may be asked, it is copper T 380AG. You may remember this very well because AG is the symbol of silver, but this Nova T you may get confused. So remember, this Nova T also contains silver core. So this is about what is the numbering. Now some more question that examiner asks you very frequently. He will show you a packed copper T bearing expiry date. Suppose expiry date is from 6 months or 1 year beyond your the day you are facing your exam. So examiner will ask, what does this expiry date means? Means that you will insert it and remove after 1 year? No, that expiry date is for the system only. And what else you have to tell, once this copper T has to be used before the expiry date, this copper T has to be used before that expiry date, and if it has been inserted before that expiry date, it will work for whatever years it has its potency. So copper T 380A, even if it is inserted 6 months before its expiry date, if you have inserted it, then it will work for 10 years. So now another question that is a very favorite of the examiners is about the thread color, that are how will you determine on examination of per speculum that which copper T is placed in the woman's uterus. So for that you should remember copper T 380 has white thread, this has medical green, Mirena has brown thread, and Kyleena has blue thread. So these are the third generation and these are second generation. So this is about the thread color. You should be aware about it. May come as an MCQ or it may be asked in your Viva very frequently. So next question, which is another favorite, what is IUD and what is intra-IUS, what you should be aware about. So intrauterine device or intrauterine system. So remember all that I have talked about, first generation, second generation, third generation, they are all IUDs. They are all intrauterine devices. But third generation, they are called intrauterine system. You can call them intrauterine system as well. So this S stands for system. So the progesterone containing intrauterine devices may be called intrauterine system. If in your exam you come across a question asking about intrauterine IUS, then it is only, you have to tell the thing only about for this third generation IUCDs. If a question is about IUD, it may be all the three. So this is of importance in Viva also. IUD is intrauterine device and IUS is intrauterine system. So now you may be asked what material copper T frame is made up of. It is made up of polyethylene. And you may be asked what material this thread is made up of. It is a monofilament. Remember the word monofilament polyethylene only. It is made up of, and there are two threads. Now a very favorite question about the missing thread is maybe asked in your exam. What will you be doing if you come across a woman who says, Doctor, my thread, copper T thread is missing? So first of all, the first step you will be doing is you will ask the woman to use another method of contraception till the location is determined. Another method of contraception is to be advised to the woman. Remember this, examiner wants to listen this thing. You may say for instantly that I will be ordering X-ray or I will be ordering ultrasound, but before that you will be telling the woman that till we find your copper T, you should use another method of contraception. So this is the first advice you are giving to the woman. Now how will you determine where it is present? You can do X-ray or ultrasound. Okay, so is this polyethylene detectable on X-ray? No, actually only polyethylene is not detectable on X-ray. So what else is present which makes them radio opaque? It is barium sulfate. These all copper T's intrauterine devices, they all have barium sulfate impregnated to make them radio opaque, so that if you miss them you can locate them on X-ray. Which kind, they may ask you which kind, either in undergraduate or in postgraduate you may be asked a question which film you will ask the radiographer to take. So remember, you have to take both the films, AP and lateral, preferably along with the uterine sound. Why uterine sound? Because it helps in localization of the uterus, and AP and lateral both the views are taken and you may locate whether it is inside the uterus or it is outside the uterus. In ultrasound, you may also locate where is the presence, but if it is high up, it has moved into the intestine after perforation. On ultrasound, it is a rather difficult thing. It is better detected on X-ray. So ultrasound and X-ray 2 films are to be taken along with the uterine sound, and AP and lateral, they both are to be taken. So now coming to the mechanism of action, how these intrauterine contraceptive devices, they work as a contraceptive. What are the mechanism of action? This may be asked either in your written question, or it may be asked in your viva as well. So first of all, there is a presence of foreign body inside the endometrial cavity. So this foreign body is present and it increases the uterine contractility and also tubal motility. So it makes the transport of the sperm and ovum difficult. And also leukocytic infiltration of endometrium is present. You can say aseptic inflammation is present in the endometrial lining, and hence it becomes, this endometrium is not suitable for nidation to occur. The copper T containing, that is second generation contraceptive devices, they have copper which is being released inside the endometrial cavity, and this copper brings about certain enzymatic and lytic changes which increases the macrophages and ingestion of the sperms, and also it brings about the aseptic endometritis at the level of endometrium. Now coming to progesterone containing devices, they have different mechanism of action apart from these. The upper three are present in the progesterone releasing devices, but there are certain advantages, certain other advantages of progesterone that is being released at the endometrial level, and hence the potency, the contraceptive benefit, it is best as in case of third generation IUCDs. So failure rate are very less in cases of this progesterone containing IUCDs. So other mechanism is this progesterone which is being released, progesterone which is being released, cervical mucus, it causes thickening, and this becomes impermeable to the sperms. Also this progesterone, it brings about the atrophy at the level of endometrium continuous, and in around 15 to 20% cases even ovulation is inhibited by this progesterone containing devices. One more thing, in case of missing copper T, I would like to add here that examiner may ask, suppose the copper T that is missed is present in the uterine cavity, what you will be doing next? So you will be doing nothing. If the woman is anxious, you may remove it and insert another copper T or IUCD, and if she is not anxious, if she is relieved, then you can even leave it as such. But if the copper T has moved out of the uterus, perforated, and it is present in the intestine, then what will you be doing? In that case, because it has copper ions which are being released, they can cause inflammation in the peritoneum, and hence it has to be removed by operative procedure. That IUCD, if present in the intestine, they have to be removed. So we know that ectopic pregnancy risk is overall less as compared to the non-users, but if you compare with another modes of contraception that a woman may use, the ectopic pregnancy rate is higher if pregnancy occurs using this IUCD. In cases of third generation, in case of third generation IUCD, if a pregnancy occurs while using this contraceptive method, pregnancy rate is as much as high as 50%. So you should remember this. And if a woman, so question is, what will you do if a woman comes stating that she is pregnant along with IUCD? So your answer will be, first of all, we will rule out ectopic pregnancy. Now Now next question may be how is the copper T inserted, what the method is called as. It is called as the withdrawal method. So this is a copper T, this is a carrier of the copper T, and this is a plunger. These are the threads. So what you will be doing, there is a guard, mobile guard, which is present on this carrier. So we will first measure the uterocervical length. First of all we will be doing the inspection per speculum examination to rule out any active infection. Then by doing the per vaginal examination, we will be assessing about the position of the uterus. Now finding the UCL, and then we will adjust this topper according to the length of the UCL. Then we will insert it after taking all aseptic precautions. Before inserting, without touching, when it is inside the packing, you will be giving it, folding it inside the horizontal arms. Then you will adjust the guard according to the UCL of the woman. When the guard reaches the cervical os, what you will be doing, you will be just holding it, and this carrier you will be pulling towards yourself. This will be static and it will be pulled down so that the copper T is removed from this and it remains in the place. And then you will cut the thread according to, you may leave 2 to 3 centimeter outside the cervical os. One more thing, there is now very commonly asked about postpartum IUCD immediately after delivery. So what are the 3 types? It is post placental, one is post placental. So in this case it has to be inserted within in less than 10 minutes of the delivery of placenta. So within 10 minutes if it is inserted post delivery of placenta, it is called post placental IUCD. Then it could be early, postpartum and late. So early is after 10 minutes till 48 hours of delivery, that means before her discharge from the hospital. And late postpartum is after 48 hours till 4 weeks. One more thing you may be asked, when you are doing post placental IUCD placement, where will you cut the copper T, those threads, where will you cut them? You will cut them flushing with the external cervical os, So this is you may be asked about this post placental, early postpartum and late postpartum. Now coming to the non-contraceptive benefits. One is the contraceptive benefit we have discussed up till now. So you may be asked about what are the places where this IUCD can be used apart from this contraception effect. So one is postcoital, although it is contraception, but this is a postcoital or emergency contraceptive. It can be used as, it has to be placed preferably within 5 days, of unprotected intercourse. Now coming to the second use, non-contraceptive use, is excision. After excision of the uterine septum or after breaking of the uterine synechiae in cases of Asherman syndrome. In that case you will be putting copper T in place intrauterine so that the repeat synechiae are not formed. And in cases of AUB, this is for 3rd generation IUCDs. This use in case of abnormal uterine bleeding, this is for 3rd generation where progesterone is released, and after 6 months we expect amenorrhea in such women. Now coming to the patient selection, how will you select the patient for IUCD placement? First of all, she should be of low risk for STDs. She should be in a monogamous relationship, preferably in a monogamous relationship, and also there are no contraindications for placement of this copper T, and her uterus, there are no adhesions in the pelvis, and also she is desirous for long term contraceptive effect, either for this birth spacing, and also those contraceptive users, hormonal contraceptive users who are not happy with OC pills, you may advise them to try to use this method of contraception. So what are the contraindications for using this IUCD? So it is suspected pregnancy, or in case of undiagnosed uterine bleeding. Then if there is active pelvic inflammatory disease, then it has not to be used. Or when there are huge fibroid which are distorting the uterine cavity, and also if a woman is suffering from menorrhagia or dysmenorrhea, in that case copper containing IUCDs are not to be used. But in case of menorrhagia and in cases of dysmenorrhea, you may use the progesterone containing devices. Now diabetic women who are not well controlled, those who have heart disease, rheumatic heart disease, they are also preferably avoided to avoid the risk of infection. And in cases of previous ectopic pregnancy, we have to be very cautious, and it has to be preferably avoided in a nulli gravida, so that if in that case there are some chances of PID associated with the insertion of copper T. So preferably avoid it in nulli gravida, but you may select it depending upon after explaining to the woman. Now you may be asked about the complications of IUCD. So the complications may be divided into immediate, early and late complications. So immediate is while insertion, there may be difficulty in insertion, there may occur perforation if it is in untrained hands, and vasovagal attack when you hold the anterior lip of anterior lip of cervix by Ales or valcellum, and uterine cramps are noted as early complications, immediate complications. Now early complications are expulsion, and same perforation can be detected a little later, and dysmenorrhea, then excessive vaginal bleeding during menses, and pain, pelvic pain, all are observed within 6 months of the insertion. And you have to reassure her, and you may give her NSAIDs or tranexamic acid if she is suffering from either dysmenorrhea or pelvic pain or menorrhagia. So this will, and you have to tell that after 6 months your body will more so adjust to the IUCD and you will get the benefit. And now later there may be chances of pelvic inflammatory disease if you have not examined adequately the woman before insertion. And pregnancy is also noted, although the rate is very less, but still it is noted, and if it occurs, it is the chances are that ectopic is likely, and you have to be you have to keep it in your mind. About IUCDs, I have tried to cover all the questions that are asked more commonly in Viva. So you please go through the video, and if you have any question, do ask in the comment box. And if you like the video, please subscribe to our channel to be in touch with us.